you absolutely majestic soul. In today's video, we're going to be diving into 5 ways that you could subconsciously be holding yourself back. If you don't know me, I'm Colleen. I work in the transformational space, and I'm super passionate about grounded spirituality, combining spirit with science and making it easy to comprehend. All right? So check out my other videos for more, but let's dive into this one. What is the subconscious? The subconscious mind is like your default program operating system. I want you to think back to when you learned how to tie a shoe. That shit was hard, okay? You had to put in consistent effort. Your parents had to walk you through it. You had to figure out how to do the laces, how to do everything, and it took some time. But once you learned it, once it was programmed in, now you can pick up a shoe right now and tie it with ease. Same thing with riding a bike, same thing with driving a car. Like, it's programmed in. You know how to do it. You have that muscle memory. This is your subconscious mind. This is where the program is coming from. This is where it's stored. Your subconscious also stores your beliefs, your perceptions of the world. And guess when that gets programmed in? When you're a little tiny kid, from the age of 0 to 7, you're in this deep theta brainwave state. And in hypnosis, we call this the programming state. So everything around you, you're soaking it in like a sponge. What your parents are teaching you, you're taking that as truth, as the big T. This is true, okay? So let's now dive in to 5 ways that your subconscious could actually be holding you back from what you consciously want, what you want to achieve, what you desire, what you want to experience, but there's a block there. Let's dive in. Sign number 1, self-sabotage. Okay? This could look like procrastination. This could look like as soon as that finish line is there, that goal is there, something happens. Like maybe you get sick or something happens to where your subconscious thinks it's protecting you. In relationships, you might push people away when things start to feel too good, or start to pick fights when intimacy grows. And here's a story from one of my clients, and all of my client stories are only shared with permission. So this is Rachel's story, and that's not her real name, but Rachel, she was dating this amazing guy. Like they meshed so well. He was kind, he was consistent, he was emotionally present, and emotionally emotionally intelligent. But 3 months in, she's talking to me and she's like, oh, I don't know, there's just like, he seems too nice, or it's moving too fast and something feels off, like blah, 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 with this and this and this. And it was coming from a place of fear. It wasn't coming from a place of deep wisdom. And so she just ghosted him because of that. She was like, no, We went back to the root of that. We went in a hypnosis session. We went to her childhood. And lo and behold, her parents were like this. They were constantly fighting. They would fight and fight and fight and then hug. And so she, as little girl, Rachel, was seeing that as like chaos equals love. And up until this guy she had only dated like these chaotic men. Or like situations that she was able to be chaotic as well. But in this situation, she didn't feel that. So that was boring to her. Calm was boring to her. And boring and calm equals unsafe. Because your childhood, you deem that as safety. What you're seeing and what you're perceiving and what you're experiencing, that is safe to you. When we grow up and we get older, we don't grow out of these patterns. Like, no, these are patterns. They're going to keep repeating until they're broken. And it's like this loop. So in order to kind of get out of that self-sabotage for Rachel, we had to discover, and she had to discover, what love truly looked like for her, what she wanted love to be for her. And she had to retrain her mind and her body to feel safe around that type of love. Sign number 2, negative inner dialogue. Okay? This negative inner critic that we all have, we all face, but the louder the volume on some of those thoughts, the more likely it is to be programmed in from a young age. So this could look like constantly questioning your worth, thinking you're stupid, or thinking that people are going to leave once they get to know you. Why would anyone love me? So with Rachel, like, she would go on these really good dates and she would have a great time, but even then her inner dialogue would spiral, and it would be like, I probably said too much, I probably did too much, he's probably texting someone that's better than me. And it either made her really anxious and clingy or super distant and cold. So the root cause of this, going back to the childhood, what were your parents telling you, and what did you witness your parents telling themselves? Because children are like copycat machines, okay? What they're seeing their parents do and talk about other people and talk about themselves, they're eventually going to internalize that. So Rachel's inner voice, it mimicked her mother's criticism. Like, growing up, she was told that she was too much and she was too sensitive, and she wasn't ever gonna like get a boyfriend looking like that, and all sorts of just these negative things that she had internalized to a deep level. So in order to kind of move through this negative inner dialogue, there are a lot of ways, but I think sleep affirmations are a really great one, because your subconscious mind is never resting. Your subconscious mind is always on 24/7, even if your body and your consciousness are asleep. Listen, play some affirmations overnight, soak it in. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and start to reclaim who the fuck you are. Because the truth of the matter is, guys, you get to decide. Everything is choice. Life is choice. So are you going to choose to reclaim yourself? Are you going to choose to reclaim your soul, to reclaim your consciousness, to reclaim you? Or are you going to let these patterns repeat and repeat and repeat and play out? When you choose you, just know that it's going to take some consistent effort and action, but it will happen. It will happen. You will begin to see yourself in a new light. And as within, so without. Once you begin to see yourself in a new light and love yourself in a new light, you're going to see the world in a new light, and you're going to start to love the world in a new light. Okay? Everything is so deeply connected, and your perception shapes your entire experience. So with Rachel, we created a set of affirmations. We created a set of subliminals that she would listen to, and most of it was like, I am lovable as I am. It is safe to be seen. I love me. Okay, turning the keys, giving the keys back to her. And yeah, mirror work, super helpful. All right. Sign number 3, repeating the same patterns. Okay, so I'm talking about similar job situations, similar partners and relationships, similar friendships, same thing happening with money in your life. Like, have you ever had a job and then you quit that job and then you got a new job and you're like, wow, my coworker dynamic here is eerily similar to my last job situation? That's because that's the pattern that you're working through. Okay? With my girl Rachel, same man she would attract in, same dynamic she would attract in. Hot and cold men, like it, who weren't ready to commit, who weren't ready to settle down. Chaos, okay? Like utter and complete chaos that she felt safe and she felt comfortable in. When she met someone healthy, like our man from before, she felt super disconnected, bored, and like unsettled, you know? So her subconscious, it was wired to seek this validation and this chaos, not this deep love. So yeah, I mean, how we helped that pattern is we would use visualization and inner child work. Inner child work, I'm not even going to get into how powerful it is. That's for another video. But yeah, so she would imagine holding her younger self and giving her the love and stability she never received. And she even would imagine her parents in this healthy and loving dynamic. So it's like retraining your memory system, like rewiring your memory base, which is super cool. It's super potent. It's super powerful. And like, you essentially, there's no such thing as time. We're getting deep on this one. I think I'm going to stop myself there so we can move on to the next two. But come back for another video on that. Sign number 4, fear of vulnerability, okay? You, like, being able to pour your heart out, like, we need that. Human beings need that. It's very healing. It's very wonderful. But if you had a situation in your childhood that associated vulnerability with pain, it could lead to fear of being rejected, or even being rejected when you were younger and being punished for expressing these emotions. So walking around trying not to be super vulnerable, but you long for that. And here's how you can kind of work through that. And this is what it's going to look like. So it's going to look like shutdown. It's going to look like when people try to get close to you, you kind of emotionally withdraw or you sabotage, okay? So you want to practice these safe vulnerability exercises. This could be like, take your phone and go to the voice notes app or get a journal and start writing. And I want you to start to record your true feelings, how you actually feel about today, about this moment, about what situation has happened, about this, and let your feelings rise out, okay? You want to record that, you want to write that down, and over time, this is going to train your nervous system. It's going to train your body that you have a tolerance for closeness. You're available for that because you're showing yourself that you can do that with yourself. All right? Fear of vulnerability. And sign number 5, feeling unworthy. This is a big one, and this is a huge wound in humanity as a whole. So feeling unworthy could be like settling for breadcrumbs, not speaking up for yourself, overextending yourself, not saying no, constantly seeking approval, needing other people to validate your choices. Because deep down, you don't feel worthy of validating your own choices. You don't feel worthy of this healthy love that you can give to yourself. So, I mean, with Rachel, she is so beautiful and intelligent and kind and has an amazing heart, but she was holding herself back because she didn't feel worthy of love with a safe partner, okay? I just don't think real love is existing for, like, this was a program operating and she didn't think real love was out there for her because she felt unworthy of that. And unworthiness really stems, the most common root I found of unworthiness is it stems from when you received love with condition. You've never once experienced unconditional love. Okay? So you need to start giving yourself this unconditional love. All right? The more love that you can pour into yourself, the better choices you can make for your body, your mind, your soul that are healthy for you, the more you're going to see that reflected outside of you. All right? So something I recommend is EFT tapping for this. EFT tapping is really great. It's tapping on different energy points in your body and connecting your mind, your body, and getting these subconscious things coming up. So I would recommend checking out Brad Yates on YouTube. I believe he has some for love, but he has a lot of great EFT tapping resources on there. So you're worthy. You're worthy of love because you fucking exist. That's it. All right? You're worthy of unconditional love because you fucking exist. You're worthy of unconditional love because you exist. That's it. Anything else, anything that tells you otherwise is a false program. It's a false narrative that kept you safe at one point, but it's not keeping you safe anymore. All right? Your subconscious creates patterns based on the past, but that does not mean that you are doomed and destined to repeat them. All right? This is part of the game. This is the fun part of the game where you get to break free. All right? You get to challenge these narratives, these programs that are operating, and you get to free yourself from that. How fun, how cool. I mean, it's a little challenging, but What is life without a beautiful challenge? Okay? So which of these signs are showing up the most in your life? I really want you to let me know in the comments below. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, please like, subscribe, and follow the videos on my channel. I love you so very, very, very much. Thank you for being here. Mwah.